all started with a tomato. Can you tell me about that?
It did all start with a tomato, oddly enough. When I was about 4 or 5, my backdoor neighbor, Mr. Johnson, had a very expensive garden. And I went back there one day, stole a tomato. My parents found out I stole a tomato, made me go back to Mr. Johnson's house, knock on the door, and apologize. And instead of him yelling at me or doing anything along those lines, he dug up a small tomato plant for me. We went back into my yard, he showed me how to plant it, and from that point forward, I have grown tomatoes, loved growing my own veggies, and just loved landscaping in general. My dad started a landscaping company when I was about 12. 2011, my first show was called Going Yard. Did 2 seasons of that on Cape Cod. Then that led to Yard Crashers that I did for 5 seasons, and now I'm doing Lawn and Order.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Lambton.
How's everyone doing today? During the presentation, if you have any questions, please stop me, raise your hand, shout out any questions that you have, and I'll be sure to answer. That's me, it's a big picture. So a little bit about myself. I was born and raised on Cape Cod.
Did you figure out how you can do things for your yard now after watching what he said today?
Well, there were a couple of really good examples that he gave us, especially cutting those trunks to use them for planters. I love that idea.
I noticed that the neighbor's yard had a tree that had fallen down, and there was a hole in the middle of it. So I knocked on the door and said, "Do you mind if I cut down your tree and take it away for free for you?" And she thought I was joking. I said, "No, we're taping a show next door. I really just want to cut it up, use some pieces of it for the show, and then we'll get rid of the rest." It's kind of like as a trade. So obviously she said yes. It's been there for like 5 years. So I cut a 3-foot piece, sanded it, put a sealant on there, and I did a false bottom about 10 inches down and put some plants in there and turned it into a beautiful little end table. Put some succulents in there.
I had such wonderful questions. When people ask thoughtful questions, that means that they're interested in the subject, they paid attention to it, and they want to learn more. So getting great questions after a presentation to me just shows the knowledge base of this area and that they do love to get outside and landscape.